Okay, one term we'll use quite a bit in the next couple sections is what's called a reference angle. Now, a reference angle is going to be an acute angle. Now, remember, an acute angle is between 0 and 90, or 0 and pi over 2, that is formed by the terminal side of an angle and the x-axis. So it is always going to be formed by the terminal side and the x-axis, and it's always a positive acute angle between 0 and 90. So a lot of times we'll give you the symbol theta prime. So theta prime is always going to be between 90 and 0 degrees, or 0 and pi over 2 radians, depending if your radians or degrees. So what we'll have to do is, this is very dependent on your quadrant. So if you think about angle 239 per se, so I'm going to come over here and I'm going to graph angle 239. It's going to start here and it's going to go all the way over somewhere in quadrant 3. So in our case, the reference angle is going to be between this terminal side and the x-axis, always the x-axis, always between 0 and 90. So here is my theta prime. So in this case, to find the reference angle, we'll do 239, which is the full angle, and then I'll just subtract out 180. So that's going to give me 59. So in this case, the reference angle is 59. Now in other quadrants, it might be much different. Now 7 pi over 4 would be difficult probably to figure out. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and turn it to degrees. Pi's will cancel. This will give me 45, so this gives me 315. Now this one is in quadrant 4. So if I draw it in quadrant 4, here is this angle all the way over here. So there is 315 degrees, so our reference angle is going to be between the x-axis and the terminal ray. There's our theta prime. So sometimes the reference angle is in the angle, sometimes it's not. Well, in this case, in quadrant 4, we have 360 minus our angle, because 360 would be a full turn, and we back that off, and we get 45 degrees. Now the nice thing about 45 degrees is, since we started in radians, we should probably put it back to, or we're starting in radians, we should put it back to radians. 45 degrees is simply pi over 4. So the nice thing is, if you have a lot of reference angles, so like if I had 5 pi over 6 as my angle, the reference angle is pi over 6. They just have the same denominator, just with a single unit. Doesn't work all the time. Well, for a lot of the ones we will use, that will be the case. But you can always change the degrees, graph it, see where your reference angle is, and go from there.